Hello and good evening and welcome back to the Final Flight podcast. Sorry we are a little bit late. It's been a little bit chaotic tonight in the fact that I have forgot all my electrical equipment and I am now on my phone tonight. But we've kind of made it, so apologies for the visuals. It is a little bit skew with, but we'll make the best of the bad situation, won't we, boys? Right. Joe and Rich, mate, the flight is in full flow now. We've obviously the York Dante meeting. We had a full card today, which was pretty interesting. A few ups and downs. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I suppose in terms of the Dante, what are you thinking, Rich? Are you looking forward to this meeting and finally getting some racing back at York?
Yeah, it's a great meeting. I try and go every year, at least to one day. Yeah, it's great. So, I mean, some people call the Dante the best trial for the Derby, so it's good to have that up north.
It certainly is, mate. And I tell you what, Joe, come to you. I'll never forget that day that we were there for Dante. I think it was last year, wasn't it, when good old Chamberlain mentioned old King of Steel, and we gave him absolutely no chance. He ended up being pulled out, didn't he? And obviously he went on to do pretty well. I think he'd have absolutely bolted up at the Dante that day. I mean, are you looking forward to getting back to York? Are you going on Friday or tomorrow? Are you going?
I am, mate. I can't wait. And we actually, as long as there's no rain, well, obviously with a small percentage, we should have a runner on Friday called Red Mirage in the 4:45, 8-1 currently. James Doyle's jocked up, so I can't wait. Fingers crossed. I'm not too sure yet, but fingers crossed I might have a chance to get in the parade ring. That'd be brilliant. First time at York, but yeah, like I say, I can't wait. Me and Rich will be there Friday. I think you're going Thursday, aren't you, Rich?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm going to try.
It just doesn't. Nothing gets better than York in the sun. I don't care what anyone says. York in the sun, flat racing, fast horses, expensive horses.
There'll be no sun, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost plenty of money at York. I'm not going to lie. It was a couple of decent days, but it is a cracking day. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it this year, which I'm absolutely gutted about. But just how things have fell, it's a bit rubbish. But unless I decide to last minute ring in sick tomorrow and just turn up, we shall see. I'll let you know if it happens, Rich. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, well, it might do anyway. But yeah, we'll certainly look forward to it. I mean, a quick word on today. I mean, obviously, there are a few incidents today that obviously we don't want to see. Thoughts and connections of Hispanic. Obviously, we had a couple of bad incidents last week. Sort of same again this week. I mean, what do you lads make of what's happening there? I mean, what do you think of that? Is there something going on? Are they just all been a little bit chaotic, a bit too quick for them this early season? What do you think?
I mean, watching it, I mean, you never really see it happen anyway, do you? But back-to-back races was very strange. Both horses looked like, one was hampered and one clipped heels. Thankfully, Tiber Floss was all right and got back up. But like you say, thoughts got connections of Hispanic. But for me, it's a bit like your hidden law situation. It's just a complete clipping heels. We sometimes see it happen, but for a horse to go down like that and carry on running, it wasn't nice to see, was it? But yeah, what do you think, Rich?
I've never seen anything like it, especially like you said, back-to-back races. I mean, it's just freak accidents. Like, it's very rare that you can see it on the flat. You run pretty much on a flat, sound surface most of the time. Yeah, I don't know. I think the horse is just a bit too, like you say, fresh, a bit keen. Everybody just wanted to get on with the thing. I don't know, but yeah, very unfortunate, very sad, and we feel for connections, obviously.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, I put up Woven, who looked to be part of the incident, and Oshie Murphy obviously looking back to sort of see what had gone on. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, but again, not one that can really be helped. It's just a freak accident, and thoughts are with connections. But anyway, just sort of give him a mention and poor old Hispanic. But yeah, right then. So what we're going to do is we're going to preview a couple of the races on each day, sort of Thursday, Friday. I think moving into Saturday as well, we've got a few to look at. I'm going to play a little bit of host tonight because I've got a feeling I might have to get my charger in a minute because I think the phone's actually going to die shortly. But we'll get as far as we can anyway. I know it's an absolute shambles. I'm normally on the ball, but look, I've been up since 3:45. It is what it is. Anyway,
who was the jumps he's doing? He couldn't give a monkeys, could he?
It's the fly. He doesn't like the fly.
I get into the flat. I do get into the flat. Maybe a little bit more further down the line as the season gets going. I find it tough when it's you've got a 6 runner race and they're all first time out and stuff. It's very hard to pin down the winner. But I'm sure you lads have cast your eyes over these, and your expertise will get us some winners for the viewers. But anyway, we're going to roll on. I've got my list here. I'm going to go to the 3:15 tomorrow at York. Ground's still currently good. I'm not sure if they're due too much rain for the rest of the week, to be fair, so it's probably going to stay quite dry, I believe. But we've got the returning Free Wind in here currently as favourite, 9-5 or 15-8-ish. Blue Stocking, a really nice horse for Ralph Beckett. Sapphire Seas is in here. Infinite Cosmos for the Stout team. Calf Nathan. Nathan, I'll take that all day long. And Novus is the biggest of the field. I mean, obviously we've got some sort of previous with Free Wind. I mean, there's no Frankie Dettori anymore. And there's a few people on there. Kieran Schumacher's back after today. Probably get onto that in a bit. But I'll come to you first, Joe. So we've got some previous with the old Dante meeting. But where did you sort of look towards the winner of this race?
Yeah, I remember that race. Remember it pretty well. We heard the stewards' room bells go, didn't we? And putting the bet on the course. Don't pay first past the post. But yeah, it looks a bit of a trappy race, to be honest. Even down to Carnathan, ran some very good racing Group 1s. Infinite Cosmo, was, after the Newmarket run in the May, was touted to be one of the horses of the season, and then got walloped with Musadora by Soul Sister, and then finished off at Yarmouth pretty timidly, to be honest. And really, that horse could be anything now. They're going to improve massively from 3 to 4. But I'm going to stick with the 6-year-old Free Wind. One thing I do look at is course form at York, and the course form stands in pretty good stead. The last run here over 1 mile 4 was probably the most frustrating, just getting beat by Warm Heart. I know Frankie got a bit of stick that day. Beat Blue Stocking pretty convincingly. Won this race last year on reappearance, beating Rogue Millennium, who went on to win at Royal Ascot. Poptronic won at Ascot, the British Champions Fillies and Mares Stakes, the Group 1. So the form does stand up. Like I say, the one downfall was the same Silks and Kieran Schumacher not riding the best races today. But I do think this horse is a pretty serious animal, and I do think every horse in the race has it to prove here. And I just think you're going to get a good run from this horse. Fair enough, he is favourite, but I think 2-1, she's pretty backable, and yeah, she's sort of clear from everyone else apart from Blue Stocking in the ratings, and I just can't get away with Blue Stocking. I think she's hit a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, a lot of 4s in her career, but the time she went to Chester and she got beat in the listed race by Carl Burke's Al Kareem. And there's a few races in there that I've looked back and I think, has she tried? Has she stuck her head out? And for me, Free Wind. It might be the ties from the last Dante meeting, but Free Wind for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a quick look over, but I just sort of remember that day when we were at York last year when she won. I think you two backed her. For some reason, I decided to go against her in the end. I think I'm going to back her all day long, and I thought, you know what, I'm going against her for some reason. I think she drifted out a little bit on that day. I went with an horse called Aristeer, who ended up coming last. You guys are jumping around, and I'm thinking, can't believe I've done that. But yeah, I mean, Free Win. What's she now? 3 times off a break she's won. She clearly goes well fresh. I mean, is that the way you're siding, Rich?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather Frankie be on board again, but hey,
he's gone now, mate. Let it go. He's gone. He's off to the USA. There.
I mean, like you say, she's got a good record fresh. She's the highest rated. I don't really know. I mean,
it's a good start. I don't really know.
I was maybe sliding with Blue Stocking, but Free Wind has been given away all last season. Racing off levels here, she would have to improve quite a bit, I think, on that sort of form. I was listening to that Nick Luck podcast, and they had some assistant on from the Stout Yard. And Infinite Cosmos is a mare filly that the yard highly think high of her. So I think she'll be a player. Although I think I heard somewhere that they think she's maybe a 1 mile 4 sort of horse, and she might need this sort of run. So it kind of puts me off a little bit. I mean, looking at the betting, I'm on 365. She opened at 9. She's in 13-2 now. So somebody is backing her.
I just think, Free Wind is 6. I know she's 6, but like James said there, she's done it, first time out of the season 3 times. Blue Stocking 208 days off. Sapphire Seas should improve from the Maidan run. I just can't have. Has plenty to prove. Has £10 to find on Free Wind, and so does Infinite Cosmo. And you're looking at a horse who you don't know will run that well fresh up to Grade 2, a Group 2 company over a trip that you're not too sure she wants, and she wants further. I just think there's question marks over them all, and I think the biggest question mark over Free Wind at the minute is Kieran Schumacher. If Frankie Dettori was on, I think Free Wind would be looking at 6-4, 5-4 tomorrow.
I think I might wait and see what the ground's like. See if she does get backed a bit more. If it does.
What did you think of the ground today, lads?
I don't think it was good.
No, neither did I.
Softer side of good, if anything.
Didn't look too bad, I didn't think. I mean, it was good to firm in places, and that sort of never changed.
Yeah, but you're a jumps lad. Anything with grass on looks good to you.
And they drew a little bit of rain in the morning. Yeah, might get a little bit, but
I think there's a 40-50% chance that rain is going to be there. So
I hope there's none falling Friday.
Friday is the better day.
Torrential rain Friday, it says here now. Anyway, so let's move on then. You happy with those picks? I'll be on Free Wind myself. So
yeah, I think we've got to go with that.
Right then, so we'll move on then. We'll go to the big one. The Dubai Dante Stakes at 3:45. You've got Ancient Wisdom in his favourite, 11-8. Caviar Heights, 9-2. Al Musmak, 6-1. Economics, 13-2. Cambridge, God's Window, and War Rooms. I'll come to you first, Rich. Is it a vintage renewal of the Dante? And do you have a winner?
I mean, it's the best Derby trial, isn't it? So I think it's a quite good race. You've got what we've got. Al Musmak, I think, is a fairly decent horse. Caviar Heights is the one that's, I mean, he's won a couple of listed contests. Could be anything, but there's only one winner, isn't there?
Get the cap out, yes. Get the money on.
It's got to be Ancient Wisdom. I mean, he's a Group 1 winner. Won the Futurity at Doncaster. Any rain, the better. Like I say, I don't think it is good. I think it's on the softer side. I think he'll handle it. He'll obviously get the distance. And yeah, I think he just wins. Goes to the favourite for the Derby, does the double, everybody's happy.
So you're back in the Dante Derby double?
I might do, yeah, I might have a little bit.
Tasty then. What about you, Joe? Kept it pretty simple there, as all Rich.
I agree, mate, to be honest. The form of the Doncaster run, although it was a Group 1, probably isn't the best form for me. It's the Newmarket form. Chief Little Rock, Ambient Friendly, who come out and showed the class in Lingfield. But yeah, I just think this horse has it all. They all have it to prove again up against Ancient Wisdom. And to be totally honest, I'm not sure. Does Charlie Appleby normally send them to the Dante? I'm not sure he does. To this meeting anyway. But I think this one is pretty special. I agree with Rich. I think he'll assert his dominance in this and then, head off to the classics. But looking through the field again, God's Window can't have after that last run. Cambridge rated 98. They've all got it to find, and I just think Charlie Appleby knows how to do it. He knows where he's going. He knows what he's doing. I think this horse is miles better than them, to be honest. I think 11-8 is a pretty decent price. To be totally honest, when I found out the decks were coming out, I had a little nibble and I thought, I can't see, this horse being the right side of odds on. I'm so surprised you're seeing 11-8, to be totally honest.
I think if it does start raining, it'll get backed in quite heavily.
Yeah, I mean, I just so versatile though. Even though he's won on heavy, he's won on soft. You know that the run where he got beat on good ground was against Rosallion, which isn't bad form at all, and was so keen at Ascot. And I just genuinely can't see any horse really getting anywhere near it, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, and it's a bit unfortunate we've only got 7 runners in here because it kind of alleviates any sort of each way prospects. Like, you know, I'm not sure I'd be. Well, I mean, obviously the bet really, if you really are a big fan of Ancient Wisdom, that's the bet, and there's not really anything to go each way against. That Caviar Heights was quite interesting. I thought he looked quite impressive last time when he won that reappearance. Won that race at Newmarket.
Got £12
level on decent ground. You are?
Got £12 to find on ratings.
Yeah, but I say it every time. I quite like backing against horses that are first time out with horses that have had a run, unless they've got an unbelievable record fresh, which is like what Free Winder's got, obviously. But yeah, if it were 3 places, I'd probably back that Caviar Heights each way. But unfortunately, it's not that, so I'll probably be keeping powder dry, and I'll leave you 2 lads to pile into Ancient Wisdom, and Joe can get himself a gilet coat.
I'll be this one's mate.
Right, then that's the Dante. Right, we'll move on then. My phone is about tonight, so I might go off, but then I'll go get my charger and chime us in back. You might just have to crack on without me for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or for the rest of the night. Anyway, so the 4:15 lads. This is the Westoe Stakes listed race, Class 1, 5 furlong sprint. The speedsters are in here. The very rapid Big Evs is in here. 8 to 11 favourite, currently drawn 2. You'll love the low draws, don't you, Rich? Killian's in here, Holly Doyle on. Unbreak My Heart, great name. Dark Vintage, Shimon, Nasleeve, we'll go with, and Bigger the Rest. Rich, is it Big Evs to lose? He's quick out of them gates, isn't he?
Since your phone's going to die, short and sweet, he wins, doesn't he? Low draw, best form, highest rated. He's got a penalty to carry, but yeah, I just think he wins. Is a Blue Point colt, isn't he? So obviously he's got speed, big fan, wins.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I didn't have much of a look at this. I had a quick look, and all of these have got I've got plenty to find with this Big Evs. And to be honest, I'd like to think he's going to have the class to beat these. I won't be backing him 8 to 11. I'll happily watch him go and win and see where he maybe kicks on for the rest of the season. But yeah, a lot of these to me have a lot to find with him. I think if he breaks fast enough, I think they'll do well to catch him. What do you think, Joe? I'm just going to run and get my charger. You might have to do it next race without me.
No worries. I'm following the hype of Killian. No, Big Evs for me. Like you said, Rich, miles better than these, isn't he? Won twice on soft as well, so albeit a speedster, doesn't need rapid, firm ground. And yeah, they have it all to do, don't they? I mean, Killian's nowhere near this level, and you go further down and further through the race, they're all not on Big Evs' level, are they?
No.
Miles away. Surely the Big Evs Ancient Wisdom double is getting back tomorrow, Rich.
I think so. Obviously, he's a year older. He won't have lost speed. I know people might say, well, he's a year older. Will he have got any better? But he won't have got slower. So I don't see why he's not going to be as good.
No, 100%. I feel like a horse with the talent and the form he had last season and winning at the Breeders' Cup, if he wasn't as fast or if he hadn't have trained on as well, they wouldn't have sort of forced it. But I can't see it being a problem at all. To be fair, even if he has lost speed, I think he'll beat this lot. I think he would beat them comfortably. Have you got any more for tomorrow, Rich, or anyone you want to mention?
1 second.
Looking at the 4:45, Aidan O'Brien's sending one over that cost 2.2. And look, well, you can't say much pretty smart, but breeding suggests that he's pretty smart. and he is a half sister to Shamadal.
Have you skipped on?
What's that?
You skipped on, have you?
Yeah. I was just talking about the breeding of the O'Brien horse Seattle in the next race. I just said if we had any to mention, and go through if there was any for tomorrow you fancied.
The only problem with that, Joe, is the draw. It's too high.
I know. Well, I haven't backed. I just thought it's a horse that obviously catches your eye, with the breeding and stuff. But talking about draw, the Carl Burke horse, Underseat, drawn stall 1. That's had plenty of money. I believe it was about 5-1 yesterday when it was priced up into 5-2 now. Best price. Want to take note of.
Very good. You ready, James?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm back with my charger keeps chuffing fine. It smells phone, you see, but we'll get through. Right then, moving on to Friday. The 2:15 is on the list next, lads. And we've got a very interesting runner here. I might have to hold this at an angle. I do apologise, people watching this. We have Running Queen in as favourite for Oisin Murphy riding. Obviously, a big mention on the podcast the other week when he joined us. Our Mistress is in here. I Ain't Two, Saffron Angel, Ruby's Prophet, and Bigger the Rest. Rich, you'll be absolutely poo-pooing this because of the draw, to show, but surely this horse just bolts up.
Yeah, I can't be having it from stall 10. I mean, apart from the first, if you look at today, all the winners came from the bottom half of the draw. So that's where I will be aiming my money at tomorrow. Saying that, Saffron Angel, I think, is the one I'm going to land on here. Pretty quick turnaround. Won at Chester last time, which is a bit of a tricky track, but yeah, kept on well. Won by 1.5 lengths. We'll see what improvement there is, but yeah, drawn in 1 second.
3.
I think is quite handy. So yeah, I'm going to go with that.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, obviously, when Oisin Murphy come on the podcast last week, it was great to have him on. He gave us a few horses to follow. This was one of them. Said that she was mega impressive, so I'm going to take his word for it, and I'm going to chance her. I understand the draw is maybe a little bit high, but I do think there's quite a bit of pace in here. If you go through it, there's a few that like to get on with it, and he did mention that having a few fast horses in front and giving her something to aim at would be ideal. So yeah, I'm more than happy to take the each way 5-1. And see if she can get over that slightly high draw. I don't think it'd be too bad, but we shall see. Joe, what about yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I agree, mate. I think the draw is probably a worry if you want a horse that goes forward, likes to get near the pace. But Oisin did mention, and he mentioned it a few times as well, he wants a horse to follow. He wants some horses to be going hard up front, and he feels like that'll suit the horse. I feel like he can get that coming from stall 10. He can just drop in. One thing I did look at as well, which was very interesting, and I'm not sure if you've looked at it yet. Tropical Storm, the horse you mentioned, who was beaten at Newmarket by the actor when he said the horse had a lot left and he felt like the horse could be a horse to follow and could be good level. He chose to ride Running Queen when they both clashed on both the debuts at Newbury. And Running Queen finished slightly ahead, massively improved for the second time out at Salisbury. Seemed to settle a lot better. I feel like the race could set up to her liking here, and I feel like she could get a pace to follow, and I am going to stick with her. And please, Oisin, I know you won't be watching, but after missing your 22-1 winner today, please, I hope this one wins at 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they were massively on Friendly Soul, and they obviously went into that race probably thinking they were maybe booked for second. Obviously, they must have thought a lot of, I forgot her name now, the horse they rode to win that race. But yeah, I do quite like these the one you mentioned there, like you say, Tropical Storm. You know, the fact that they've got form tying in together, they weren't far off each other, were they?
No.
Running Queen getting, I think she was getting £5 that day. So if she can go and win on Friday, and then Tropical Storm, I think, is due to run later in the week, it could be a nice little form line to jump on. And fingers crossed it's the case, because I quite like them both, to be honest with you. I'm more than happy to follow Washing in. He's the one who knows a lot more than me, so I'm more than happy to go with him. Lovely. Right. Next on the list is the 3:15, which is the Sky Bet Philly Stakes. It's a listed race, this. Devoted Queen in here for Appleby and Buick. True Cyan, 4-1. Spiritual, 17-2. Ball Scene, 9-1. And 10-1. Bellacci, bigger the rest. Bellacci. My days. The Pontefract form is strong, guys. He absolutely bolted up last time. He's got up £5 in the rating on stepping up into listed level. Could he go again with Sam James on? Rich, what are you thinking?
I mean, it's only 6 days since his last one. He has been quite busy, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I have just sided with the Devoted Queen.
Fair enough. And your reasons why? Not just because she's a boy in blue? A girl in blue, can I say?
No, she's unbeaten. I think is always a positive going to something like this. To be honest with you, it's a race that nothing really stood out to me. So if in doubt, always back the boys in blue is my motto. It's a tricky little race, but I mean, she's drawn 5 from 9. Maybe as high as you would want to go. Your Bellacci is drawn 4, could be there or thereabouts. Apart from those two, I can't really see a lot else. So stick to what I know and back the boys in blue.
Fair enough, Joe. What are you thinking, mate?
I think there's question marks over the. Well, there's not question marks, but a horse. I don't think that. Well, there could be plenty of horses to improve. And I've tried to go down in the market and have a look, and I'm going for Oshin again on Zenjabila. One at Beverley, giving away £6 to Miss Roberts and Supreme Beauty, and could have won by 2 or 3 or 4. Jack Mitchell just sat there, was waiting for him. I watched the run back, and that neck win could have been 2 or 3 lengths, like I say. And then ended the season at Newmarket, and it wasn't a bad run. Finished 5 out of 6, 6 lengths behind Carla's Way, 4 lengths behind Shawari, and 2 lengths behind Yalang Yalang, which is a bad form at all. And watching her runs and the way she went through her races, all over 7 furlong, I definitely think this mile's going to, help her improve. And if Roger Varian can get her right, I don't see any reason why she won't be in the mix there. And I just think you can get around 10-1 at the minute. And she's rated better than Bellacci. She's rated better than Bulsena. She's rated £2 less than Spiritual. She's only rated £1 less than Devoted Queen. And she's got plenty of racing. I just feel looking at it, watching her race, that the 1 mile's going to help her improve. And if she, all 7, it's not too wide. If she can get a bit of cover, I feel like she'll be the one who's going to be hitting the line strong and will definitely improve for the extra furlong that she was racing at last season.
Nice, I like it. Certainly going to be a tight race to watch. I mean, I've not really got a strong opinion on that one, to be fair, so I'll leave you two to fight that one out. Moving on then to the Yorkshire Cup. Obviously, always a good race. 1 mile, 6 furlong, decent ground. Tower of London's in here at 64 favourite. You've got a treat, folks. You've got Vauban turning up here at 4-1 with Buick on. Absolutely love to see Vauban.
The jump horse coming to York, James. You're not going to see it.
I know.
Can you believe it?
Willie Mullins will be there with his hat on. When will you ever see Willie Mullins and Rich Ritchie at York? Hopefully they're both there.
I mean, it would not surprise me if he bolts up in this. Hamish is in there. Giavaletto, Gregory, Al Karim, and Aquib. Convince me Vauban doesn't just bolt up and put the flat boys to It's a shame.
I mean, he's drawn pretty well in 2.
Does it matter over 1 mile 6?
You still want a low draw, I think, to get early position. I quite like him as well, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a winner over 2 miles on soft, over hurdles. He's won at 1 mile 6 at Royal Ascot, won over 1 mile 3. He's very versatile. For me, he's got Stradivarius sort of vibes. You know, I think he's got a bit of pace about him. And I think that might just get the job done. Yeah, I can't really have Tower of London for whatever reason. I mean, he won the Gold Cup in Maidan. I think we were speaking to somebody last year who said that it takes a lot out of the horses, so I can't really trust that. I think he maybe wants 2 miles as well. I think this might be a bit short for him. As an each-way side, maybe side of Gregory as an each-way bet, but yeah, Vauban for me. I would love to see him win.
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, obviously love the jumps, love Vauban, but the only thing that would put me off Vauban, this is going to die in a second. This Charger will not stay. The only thing that's putting me off Vauban is that his record off a break isn't the best. You know, I don't think he's actually won off a break. The fact that he's coming here off, 160 odd days or whatever it is, 192 days onto good ground would maybe just put me off slightly. That's why I do think Tower of London probably is going to win this, but I'm not going to be having any sort of serious bet in this. I think I'll probably back Vauban each way and just hope it could maybe go well, but I'm talking a couple of it's not really a race I'll get Harry involved in. So what about you, Joe?
You'd be looking to get each way price as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, keep the course so it'd be a muggy each way. But I think people will latch on to the others, so they might drift out on the day a little bit more, and you might get an each way price on the back end. But yeah, I mean, Tower of London, Ryan Moore, I've just got a feeling he's just going to go and win. You know what I mean? He's obviously won on decent ground, gets the trip. I think it's a group 2. I think he should be fine. But yeah, Vauban off a break just worries me. So I'll probably stick with Tower of London if I'm going to have a decent bet. But we'll see what happens. What about you, Joe?
Looking at it, Tower of London's got a slight penalty to overcome. Only 48 days since he last ran in Maidan, but should be fine coming here. Vauban personally can't have, not here, not first time out. All the other horses have had prep runs. There's one horse that I've decided with that will be primed for this, absolutely primed. And I just think, the trip and maybe a bit of rain, probably won't hinder. But I just think this for me is a prep run for Vauban. I see it as a nice opportunity. It's a pretty even track. It's a fair track. I just think it'll be a nice shoe-in for the season. The horse I've landed on and has got the plum draw of 1. Last year's winner is Giavolotto. Now, I know you shake your head, Rich, but last year's winner, he went to Maidan and finished 5th in the Tower of London Group 2, was only beaten 3 lengths by Tower of London, gets £3. Won it last year, had a better reappearance this year at Maidan than he did the year when he won it. I just think he's going to be prime for this. Stall 1, 15-2 is absolutely massive for me. Hamish has it. Hamish has decent form in there, but Tudhope riding for Haggis sort of worries me a bit, considering Tom Marquand is the usual rider, and for him to be going elsewhere and dodging this Group 2, which is a pretty big race, puts a question mark over it. Vauban coming over, like James said, record fresh. Aiden's not firing on all cylinders yet. He's still got quality and the best horses. But I just think Giavolotto, last year's winner, you can get 8-1, 15-2, 3 places in the plum draw of 1 is actually massive. For me, is pretty decent each way bet.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you said who you think, Rich? I can't remember. Lost plot.
I'd like Vauban to win.
That's right, Vauban. Well, it's like I say, it's a tasty little race. So we'll see what happens. Right then, I'm going to move on to Saturday. This is where you can lose me, so I'm counting on you guys. We're going to move over to Newbury for a bit of group racing. 150. is the Sky Sports Racing Aston Park Stakes, Group 3 over 1 mile 4 furlong. Now, obviously, there's a couple in here that we've already mentioned that are entered in other races. So, Desert Heroes in here as favourite, currently 9-4. Hamish is in here, but I'm assuming he goes to York. Jack Darcy. Middle Earth is in here, Oshin Murphy. It's a very good horse. Salt Bay. And sort of 10-1 bigger the rest. Blue Stockings in here, obviously, if she will go elsewhere. So, Rich, you managed to have a look at Saturday's racing, 150.
Desert Hero wins this. Optimum trip. I mean, third in the St. Ledger's the best form. I just think he wins. Middle Earth, like you say, is a good horse. I'd like to see him follow him home in second. If he's an each way sort of price, I'd probably back him each way. But yeah, Desert Hero for me is a good thing on Saturday.
Is the ground any worry with you with him?
No, you won't be concerned. Third in the St. Ledger of 1 mile 6, I think was a decent effort. I think it was soft, wasn't it, on St. Ledger?
Mm.
Yeah, we were there, James. Remember Liberty Lane?
Yeah, soft going. Yeah, so will he be all right on good ground? Do you think?
Yeah, I would have thought so. He had a prep run over 1 mile 1, which was too short for him. So I think he'd be bang right.
I suppose he went down ahead, didn't he? Was it Okeechobee won that race, I believe?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's not a bad comeback run. What are you thinking then, Joe? Which way are you swaying? And obviously there'll be fewer double entered, but you got the winner?
Yeah, I agree with Rich, to be honest. The prep run was very positive. 1 mile 4, like Rich said there. Best run was best form in this race was in the St. Ledger, and wasn't beaten that far, to be honest. Was ahead of Tower London and horses like that. Record at 1 mile 4s, 2 tries, 2 wins, 1 in a handicap off near enough top weight, and 1 in a Group 3, beating Chess Piece. And a few other decent horses in there too. Like Rich said there, prep run wasn't a disappointment at all. I think Middle Earth wants 1 mile 6. I think this trip is too short, and I think they've followed the route of Desert Hero, sort of a shorter trip for a prep run, then step up should improve. The only other way you could get into this race for me was Salt Beach, weight 5-1, but was a bit bigger and the prices seem to collapse because Hector Crouch is now on board. He's only beaten a neck by Hamish, and the race, didn't pan out at all. Started awkwardly, had to make up some ground, and just sort of lost a bit of lost its sort towards the line, got tired. Obviously, Will Strip fitter, so there's probably the danger in there. But yeah, Desert Hero should be too classy for these, in my opinion.
Well, lads, fingers crossed that is the case. Like I say, I've not really had a chance to look too much at Saturday. But we're going to move on to the 225, which is a listed race. And I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely sick with an horse that's in here. There's a horse in here called James's Delight, who I napped at Pontefract when he absolutely bolted up. I then tipped him up in his next race, which was which was when he stepped up into a Group 3. I thought he had a good chance. He got beat sort of out of sight. We then had the last game of the season with Leeds, and I just got completely sort of off track. Didn't even look at the racing. Completely didn't even realise. And he went and bolted up at 16-1 in a handicap. So I was a bit sick at that one, that I missed that one. But he's in here at listed level, and I'd probably give him a small chance. Like I say, I've not had a massive look, but just the fact that he needs to repay me back. It's that simple. He let me down, and he owes me a lot of money. So yeah, fingers crossed he can go and win. What are you lads thinking of this one? I was absolutely sick that day. Absolutely sick.
Go on, Rich.
I mean, I know he's
Remember,
right.
Pontefract form is strong, lads. Pontefract form is strong. Go on, Rich.
I know he's a horse you like, but he's not up to this sort of level, surely.
I mean, he won the handicap pretty easily.
I mean, there's one here that I'm going to back, and it's Relief Rally. Group 2 winner in the Lowther at York. That was over 6 furlongs. They're trying over 7 last time out. Didn't really work. Dropping back to chips are positive. I mean, if you watch the race back from last season in York, he got denied a clear run, and he still managed to go off and win by a length. So I think he's a top horse, and stepping back to 6, I think they'll see him back to winning ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just looking at there. I mean, James is Delight is actually. I mean, if he runs there, he might not, but he actually entered on the Sunday as well in the Class 2 handicap, which is 0 to 105. That's on 6 furlong at Newmarket, so I'm probably more interested in him there, but it might not be much of a price. He might be favourite.
That's more like it. Yeah.
I mean, on ratings,
it's more emotions. The emotions got the best of me. Sorry, Joe. Go on. On 16 to bloody 1. Sorry, go on, Joe. Sorry.
He's only 3 behind Relief Rally, but there's one horse in here for me who should not be this price, and he's not going to go off this price either. You can get 12 to 1 at the minute, and that's room service. You watch the run back at Newbury in the race with, who was it? Zoom and Son and horses like that. The race was a bit of a mess, to be honest. He was out wide. Then he got shuffled in. Then he got shuffled back. Then he was waiting for room. And it was over a trip where 7 furlong up in trip, you weren't too sure how he was going to handle it on reappearance, stepping up in trip. It was always going to be tough. He had a little drift as well. He was about 3 to 1 in the morning and went off 6s or something like that. But if you look back at the form last season, the form stands pretty strong. He ended the season beating Dragon Leader by 2 1/4 lengths. He beat Johannes Brahms. There's a few decent horses in there. That was 6.5 furlong. He went off like the clappers, led, and wasn't for catching. The run before that was at York, and he was in, and in behind him was the Risky Point, who is now rated 93, and he was in against Starlust as well, who is entered this weekend, I believe, or maybe this week. No, this weekend at Newbury. But I just think this horse will improve, and I think the step back to 6 will bring out a bit more improvement. There's a few horses in here, like you say, James, that are double entered, aren't jocked up yet. This horse is jocked up. He is going here. And I think 12 to 1 is pretty big at the minute, and there's 20 runners in there. You might be able to get 4 places or something like that.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, obviously looking at the Saturdays, I'd definitely be waiting, obviously, till we know the decks and things, but hopefully some nice each way prices on those lads, and fingers crossed. Right then, we're going to finish with one more race, guys. We're going to go to the 335, which is the Al Shakab locking stage, Group 1. It's 1 mile. It's currently good soft over at Newbury. You've got Inspiral in here as favourite, 2 to 1 currently off 196 days. Obviously with Kieran Schumacher, which is quite weird seeing him on there, not good old Frankie, but yeah, he's long gone now. Big Rock comes over from the Frenchies at 210 days off. Shireen, who won well for me last time out. Pokerface, Raw Scotsman, and sort of bigger the rest. I mean, I'm just kind of looking down here. I mean, I'm seeing a Ryan Moore on High Royale at 66 to 1. We've got a Ryan Moore horse going off at 66 to 1. What's going on here?
Is that the Kevin Ryan horse that?
He is, yeah.
James, didn't you tip that up, or didn't you have that? You chose that on the podcast, did you? Am I right in saying that?
What?
Against Ottoman Fleet, High Royal.
I don't think so. No.
Did you not? I must be thinking about another horse in them colours. It was definitely a Kevin Ryan horse.
Crack on, I'll have a look a sec.
I'm not too sure here, to be totally honest.
No, because I'm just looking through that. I had Astro King.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I can't remember. It's too long ago.
No.
Anyway,
Charion looks solid in there, but straight out to 7 to 1. If more rain coming, the rain kept coming. You've got to fancy Big Rock, don't you, James? I'm certain you picked him for the Ascot race. I am waiting to see Anna.
I may have done, yeah. I may have done.
Queen Elizabeth, yeah, he absolutely romped home.
Big Rock. Oh, Big Rock, sorry. Yeah, I did. Yeah. That was a good day, that was a very good day.
Yeah, it was. And I just feel like the soft, if the rain keeps coming and down south, it seems to keep coming and there seems to be a new storm every other day. He's rated 7 better than Inspiral, and he's rated better than anyone in this field. I think it will depend on if the rain comes. Well, I would definitely, if the rain comes, I'll be backing him. I'll be backing him pretty heavily as well. It looked softer today at York than it was. I think it'll be interesting to see the races before, how they fare, how the times fare, because I think it'll definitely affect the market in this race, and I would be backing Big Rock, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a tight race. Is this? What about you, Rich?
How are we not going for Inspiral? I just don't get it. She's the best. She's the highest rated. She gets the mayor's allowance. Yeah, I mean, her form kind of dipped back into the season, but
she's not highest rated. She's rated £7 less than Big Rock.
She's not, is she?
Yeah.
All right, checked.
Official rating 120. Official rating 127.
1 second.
Stick that in your spiral pipe and smoke it.
Yeah. Wait till the rain comes.
I've got Big Rock rated 118 and Inspiral 120 on Sporting Life.
Not what I've got.
Not on Racing Post. You got 127. Big Rock. Anyway, crack on.
Inspiral for me. It's just a horse. I think she's great. So yeah, Inspiral.
What's her record like? What's her record like? I'm going to ask you questions now because we need to dissect this. What's the record fresh?
I'll tell you in a second. But I mean, it's going to be a big couple of days for Kieran Schumacher. He's got some good rides, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does.
To be honest with you, I think he's got some extremely important rides for his career.
Yeah, because
I mean, not his career. Obviously, he'll be all right. But what I mean is to be riding for the Gosdens if he starts, cocking up. Let's say there'll be some questions asked. I mean, obviously we saw Friendly Soul bomb out. I mean, you can't. Can you blame him? Maybe you can. There's excuses there, but if he starts moving on these big guns, I don't think it'll last too long, will it?
No, I mean, to be fair, I mean, he did call a sabbatical with the biggest names in racing, so he's definitely not going to shy away from, getting rid of Schumacher. And, he has bided his time, but I just think, obviously, we don't know the instructions, they might have said, look, it's Friendly Souls, third run, after, 10 days break or whatever it was. If she's not firing all cylinders, look after her. But I just think, there's one thing having the punters on your back and people pocket talking, but when you see a ride like today and there was so many questions and there will have been a lot of people saying it because they had a lot of money on, but I think the ride was pretty bad. And if you see that a couple of times, I think you'll start to see Rob Havlin getting jocked up, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. My God. What a substitute that is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like knocking jockeys. I mean, I've never ridden a horse, so I don't really know the ins and outs of it. But for me, I just think the tactics were wrong. I mean, when they first broke, he kept her out wide. And then, I know she was a bit keen, but I'd have tried and maybe get some cover. And then when he brought her out and took her towards the stand side, I mean, hardly anything has won from that stand side today. It wasn't the place to be at all. So yeah, some question marks, but
like you say there, I mean, a lot of the lower drawn horses over on that far side. That's where the pace was finishing off. She's gone a little bit keen. He's pulled her out. He's kept her wide. She's gone wider than everything else. Then she's sort of hung right, and he's let her come all the way across to the chuffing rail near enough. Like the race is all gone by that point. So I suppose he's got few things to pick up, no doubt. But like you say there, it's no good bashing jockeys. I think the other obviously if they do something really bad, we will do, because you've got to call it out at the end of the day. But I think, like, just speaking to Oisin Murphy the other week, and sort of in the conversations that he had with us, where he was talking through us what he was going through, his mind during rides and things, and there's probably 1,000,000 to 1 things going on during a ride and during a race that we've just got no idea of, and sometimes it's you got to let them go, and it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see how it gets on in Spiral, but I don't think I'll be backing this person. I'd personally have a little each way on. If I get each way price on the day, Charine or Sharon, how we're going to pronounce it, it's won well for me last time out at Group 2 level. Steps up to Group 1. Take the chance and see how it gets on. But yeah, what about you, Joe? Finish it off, mate.
I've got Inspiral's record if you want it quickly.
Go for it, mate. Go for it. I've just realised I can change this on my phone. Look, we're fitting the thing now. Look. Hey.
Only 50 minutes in. Never mind.
Go on.
So she's won on debut. That counts. First time out. Then she won on debut 2022 at Ascot in the Coronation Stakes. Then she obviously finished second by a neck to triple time at Royal Ascot after a couple of setbacks. So I think her record fresh is quite decent based on that.
Well, fair enough. Like I say, it's one of them. We got to just see how it goes. I'm just typing something. 1 second.
I am Big Rock if the rain comes, and if not, I'd probably be with you, James. Cherry.
Yeah, I'm having to give Sharon a chance. You know, it took her. It took him. Is it him or her? I keep forgetting. On the flat, I get all over the place with the breeds and things. So I'm just going to call him. But yeah, it took a long time to get going in that Group 2 race over at Newmarket. But at Sandown, once he did get going, I thought finish off the race really well, won it quite comfortably in the end. So just take the chance at Group 1. He might not be good enough. He's got a bit to find, obviously, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right then, finishing us off then, lads. I'll come to you first, Joe, if you want, and then you can finish, Rich. Have you got anything else you'd like to mention for the rest of the weekend? Take it away.
To be fair, it does feel pretty good. Saying, have you got anything else? And it's not a change from the jumps to the flat. Tomorrow in the first Clarendon House. To be fair, I'm not going to ramble on because all my picks will be up on what's it called? On Twitter. One that did catch my eye, I won't be backing. It's not a betting race for me. Like you said, James, it's hard enough calling out, first time 2-year-old winners. But Seattle for Aidan O'Brien cost a lot of money. Bred to be pretty smart. I feel like the price 2-1 is just because Aidan O'Brien isn't flying like he always does. He's still operating around 24%. I think this one should be smart. And Friday, we've already mentioned the Oisin Murphy ride. And that's about it for me.
Sweet. Rich, have you got anything else you'd like to mark up for the weekend? Keep your eye on.
Yeah,
so Tracker's thrown out some decent winners lately, hasn't it, mate?
It normally starts well like this, and then as it progresses, tends to get slightly worse. But never mind. Friday 2:45 at York. Botanical is a horse I like. I think he was about 10s, 8s, then got backed into 5s. I think he's 72 now after declarations. He's one I'm looking forward to. If you're over at Newmarket on the Friday, the 3:23, there's a couple of horses I like in there. There's Rocking Tree and Lautrec, is it? Lautrec for the Gosdens? Maybe? I can't
remember. Take a word for it.
We'll go with that. And Kypros is out at Leopardstown on the Friday, which I think could be quite interesting. Will be no price, obviously, but good for the Ascot Gold Cup markets if you want to get on.
But in Rymore running at York and then flying back over for the ride, I believe.
Yeah, so when he gets beat on Friday in the Yorkshire Cup, he's going to fly over to Kyprios and make up for it.
I'll be back at that double, I think.
On the Saturday, I'm just having a quick look through. There's not a lot of jumps out to me, if I'm honest with you. There might be one here. There's one at where's it gone? I've just lost it. It was over in Ireland. There you go. Navan at 4:15. Gasper de Lemos for O'Brien. Potentially could be on the St. Ledger horse. So we will find out if he's any good on Saturday. And that'll do.
Fantastic. Well, I love that. Well, like I say, York's back. It's great to see. Love racing at York. The flat's in full flow. Don't do your knackers in. It's obviously a very early part of the season, isn't it, lads? You lads will know very well. I certainly do. Don't do all your money at York. It's very, very tough especially when the weather's a bit up and down and the ground's a little bit up and down. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed tonight's little preview. Hopefully we're going to land some winners, and like I say, hopefully you've enjoyed listening to us ramble on a little bit. Apologies I've been on the phone, but we'll be a lot more clued up next time. But yeah, like I say, we follow the lads if you can, and subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter and stuff. All the selections that we have will be posted out, and you'll all be able to see them anyway. So if you haven't managed to watch, or if you missed a few, they'll all be up there. So just keep us all followed, and it'll be good to go. We'll probably be back next week. Rich, what's happening next week? Do we know? You remember?
The waiting room might be back potentially early on, and then there will be a preview midweek. I can't remember what is on next week.
Yeah, a quick one on the waiting room. Obviously, we had Oshie Murphy on the first show. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, the flat jockeys aren't really playing as much ball as the jump jockeys, are they, Rich? They're doing a little bit more tight-lipped, some of them, even though we kicked off with probably the best one we could get. With Oshie Murphy,
there's a lot more evening meetings in there.
Yeah. I think obviously there's a lot more evening racing. It's a little bit tough to get all of them, but the plan is just I'm going to keep working hard to try and get these jockeys on. And if and when we do manage to get them on, we will have a show, so it won't be every week. But we'll try and get it as often as we can, and we will keep trying. Hopefully you did enjoy the Oshie Murphy show. We certainly enjoyed chatting to him. Yeah, that's it then, lads. So have a great week. Have a great weekend. You lads enjoy the racing. If I turn up tomorrow, Rich, I'll just tap you on the shoulder and that'll be it. But we shall see. But yeah, everyone have a great weekend. Good luck with all your bets. And thank you all for watching. Like the video if you can. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 700 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So please do subscribe if you are watching. And we do appreciate the support. And that's it. We'll see you all again next time. Thank you and goodbye.
See you later.